Welcome back to the YouTube channel for student involvement and leadership. Today I'm going to be talking all about group dynamics. Group dynamics is learning more about the processes involved when people in a group interact with each other. We have all been part of multiple groups in the past. Examples of groups can include your family unit, having coworkers, being in a group project for a class, living with roommates, having a friend group, and different student organizations. Today we're going to be focusing on the 5 stages of group development. It is important to understand how the development of a group occurs, as everyone has different personalities, experiences, needs, and influences. In order to be effective and reach the goal, whether that be informal or formal, individuals need to spend time acclimating or adjusting to the environment, task, and each other. The first stage is what we call the forming stage, also referred to as the dependent stage. This is when people typically try to familiarize themselves with the group and the task. Everyone tends to be polite and positive. Some people in the group might be a little bit more anxious about what they have to do and the task they have to complete, whereas the other people may be more excited about working together as a team. In the forming stage, groups tend to rely on others or outside expertise for guidance, analysis of the task, and job function. For example, if this is a group project, you may be relying on the instructor to give you some instructions on what the final project needs to look like. The second stage is what we call the storming stage, also referred to as the counter-dependent stage, which is the opposite of dependent. People here tend to refuse to ask for help and do not want to depend on one another. Now that everyone is more comfortable in the group and is done being polite, the group may encounter some conflict where people are trying to push boundaries, which then can result in some confrontation and criticizing. In terms of a leader, people might start to challenge your authority. They might think that there are unclear definitions of the expectation and the task. They may be overwhelmed by the workload and uncomfortable with your leadership style or approach to the problem. The third stage is what we call the norming stage. This is when, after the confrontation arises or the problem arises, there is then some approach to resolution. People start appreciating each other's strengths and there is more respect for the leader. Typically, this is when social agreements start developing. Individuals start to get to know each other and are more comfortable asking for help. There is a recognition of interdependence, collaboration, and cohesion, and then agreement on group norms. There may be some back and forth between the storming and the norming stage. As new problems arise or new tasks arrive, individuals may have disagreement and then resolution. However, as a group, there is now stronger commitment to the team goal and progress is evident. The fourth stage is the performing stage. This is when the group has achieved their goals. At this point is when the leader can start thinking about delegating tasks, and it feels easy to be part of the team. The last step of group development is the adjourning phase. This is when the team reaches a fixed period or the end of their time together. For example, in a group project, this may be the end of the semester. Or another example might be if you have a friend group and that friend group no longer is in communication after high school is over. For some people, this adjourning phase may be more difficult, but it is also a time to celebrate the achievements of your team. Now that you are familiar with the 5 stages of group development, I hope you can better understand how group dynamics work and be able to recognize them anytime you are joining a new group. If you would like additional resources, this is a resource that I found that was helpful, and you can always contact me at osilleadership@gm.slc.edu.